Looking forward to the second single because it's got a bit more pace to it. Sort of a mid-tempo sort of track. Got a country and western feel to it as well, which, you know, my voice sort of leans towards the sort of lower range that I've got. You know, it's just very, very different to anything I've ever done before, and it shows off like a versatility that the album has. With the videos, it's going to be like very much set like a James Dean-esque sort of video. It's going to be shot in the same place where Madonna's Frozen was shot. I think it's going to be amazing. I mean, I think it was funny because I got given the treatment. My manager came up to me and he said, Lee, he goes, you're going to have a black horse in the video, you're going to have a Mustang car, and you're going to have a helicopter, and it's going to be shot in black and white. And I was like, wicked, wicked. And he went, and it's going to be shot on 35mm. I went, 35mm? I was like, you're joking? I think that's from his school days. I mean, I like the sort of cross between James Dean look and Jim Morrison. That sort of look where it's sort of hippie-ish, but still kind of like mod sort of cool, not trying too hard sort of look. I've just done a shoot for the Daily Telegraph and modelled for Dolce & Gabbana. I've done like a whole piece on their clothing and stuff, and it's been really good. It's been amazing.
Dolce & Gabbana, Stefano and Domenico were working with Lee before, and they thought that Lee defined what their menswear collection was about. La Dolce Vita is the words they use. They have a certain group of people around the world, like Victoria Beckham, David Beckham, that they supply them with clothes and basically help craft their image.
He's very interesting as a person. He's got male model looks, and also he's got quite a lot of sort of baggage around him, shall we say, in the sense that he's a bit of a naughty boy, he's a bit of a lad. He's always in the headlines, and I think given his voice and his personality, and also all the kind of sexy kiss and tell tales surrounding him, people are going to be very intrigued to see, you know, what's he like on his own, what's he like when you take him away, you know, from the kind of support factor of the rest of the boys in the band, and he has to do it on his own.
It's GMTV today, so it's 5:45 in the morning, so we just got to wake him up and get him ready for another 16-hour day.
I think the press perceived me quite differently to the way I was in Blue. I'd always get the stupid questions because they'd want me to say something stupid. And I think that was just the type of teen magazines that we were doing.
Well, it's put a nice piece in the paper about Lee today.
Because they'd see that I was in a group, but they'd see me as the outspoken one. And I think that was something that I started to resent.
If there's a job for us to do together, him and us as a team, it is to slowly but surely get people in a position where they can get to know him, get to know the real Lee.
When I read the press and I see that they've sold stories about me in the paper, I think, you liars, because they always say 8 times in one night. I'm like, you're lucky if you get one. And that's what always makes me laugh.
Oh, he's had a hard time with me. Well, part of that's been his own fault, you know, coming out of nightclubs and all that bit. But, you know, he was a young boy in a boy band, you know.
I've been many a time, like, up here going, I didn't go to sleep till 5. I've got to get up at 6. I've said to him, you know, don't do things that basically are going to feed him. But he still does because, you know, he sometimes, you know, he says things knowing that it's going to be jumped on by the press, you know, and I think a lot of time he winds them up. It's disgusting how the moment is, isn't it? Hello!
I think he's honestly through that period. I said he's matured so much over the last 6 months. And he's talented enough and good-looking enough for the media to still be wildly interested in him.
So we're going to go and do a little light news reading.
I definitely would. Definitely would.
You're terrible, Muriel.
He's so funny. He's sometimes a little bit unpredictable with what he's going to say. You know that when he comes in, it's always going to be a laugh, and that's the main thing. He's walking past behind you there, so you see. I've got to be careful what I say now, but we always know it's going to be a good show if he's on.
I've learned how to take time to breathe and talk. Whereas even before I'd be like blah, 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 and probably wouldn't think before I talk, which should probably ended me up in a lot of trouble.
Well, good to see you.
How are you? You all right?
I'm very good. Andrew's very excited by your career. He says you are the next Robbie Williams.
It's got that sort of tortured soul thing going on that I think Robbie Williams has a little bit of the same thing. It's a little bit of danger, and that's why when you open up the papers, you're always likely to see pictures of Lee Ryan. He's got that sort of slight danger.
He's quite fit as well.
And there's that too, isn't there?
You know what, you seem different already. I suppose, to be fair, you were 17, weren't you, when you first had it, and you've grown up.
I think he's completely different since he's gone on his own, it seems. Maybe that's because he's given more time to speak. He doesn't have to play the comedy role anymore, but he just seems to be growing up to me.
The reason I believe that Lee's become quite popular in the broadsheets, from The Observer to the Daily Mail to the Times to everyone like that, is that he had something to say, and it was something that was truthful. And the interviews that you read about him now have come from his heart. They're real. Some of the things aren't what people want to hear, but at least he's being honest.
The response to Lee as a solo artist has been as good as we could have hoped, really, in the first instance. He's had a top 3 single, #1 single in Italy, and the album is doing really, really well.
This is an album where he's kind of been released from Blue. It's the first step in his career, but it's an album where I think that you can put it on and listen all the way through and walk away from the album feeling happy.
I really love him, and I think he's a major talent in the making. Being solo is far more daunting than being in a boy band, really, because there's far more pressure on you. But he always knows he can call me up. He can always call me for advice. But if he just keeps singing like he does and just really working hard, I know he can do it, and I know he's got the will to do it, and I'll be backing him all the way.
I'm looking forward to making more albums. I'm looking forward to directing my first movie at the end of the year. I'm looking forward to a mountain of opportunity that I've got to take advantage of and hopefully bring a lot of joy to other people's lives, I suppose, with what I do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.